Forget about it, Kelly. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Kevin suddenly realized that he shouldn't make her pay for someone else's mistakes. What her mentor had done wasn't her fault. I noticed you started calling me Kelly. She smiled a little. Kevin wondered if he'd made a mistake and maybe it wasn't appropriate. That's okay, Kevin. I kind of like it. She paused and looked around the chaotic scene in the room. Can you tell me anything about the explosion? Kevin sighed. The case is still under investigation. I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, but what I can tell you is that we've apprehended the perpetrator. She took on her official police tone of voice as she spoke. Can't be easy, can it? Kevin looked her in the eyes as the scope of the crime sank in. I'd rather not talk about it. For now, our focus is on the victims and their families. This'll keep us busy for weeks. Kelly turned around and left to return to her duties. Dorothy, who was still in shock, gave her daughter a worried look and complained. Lily, we're finished. Our whole family is finished. Her voice was hoarse and she was struggling to speak. What's the matter, Mom? You're scaring me. Lily wanted to comfort her mother, but she was too upset to do much good. I listened to some advice that was too good to be true and used the condo as collateral. Then I invested all the money in the Pittsburgh International Trading Company. The project failed and now I can't get the money back. Dorothy wiped the tears as she told her daughter about the problem. What are we going to do, Lily? Dorothy was crying uncontrollably. What kind of company is it? How dare they cheat an investor so blatantly? Now that Lily understood the issue, she started to get angry. It was obvious that Pittsburgh International Trading didn't want to repay her mother. Kevin walked up to the two of them and suggested that they return home. Lily, if the doctors say it's okay, let's get Mom back to the condo. What are you talking about? Dorothy was upset at her mistake, so she lashed out at Kevin. If you weren't so lazy, I wouldn't be in this mess. Have you done anything since you married my daughter besides hang around and eat our food? Dorothy stood up and scolded Kevin, completely forgetting that they were still in the hospital. Everyone within earshot turned around to glare at Kevin. Mom, can you stop scolding him? This has nothing to do with Kevin. Besides, all that stuff is in the past. Yelling at him now won't change anything. It made Lily sad to see people looking at her husband like that. She just wanted to grab her mother and leave the hospital. Why can't I scold him? I was a fool to ever let you marry him. Dorothy continued her harangue and her voice was starting to carry across the emergency room. I want you to just divorce this once and for all. I'll find you a nice husband, maybe a movie star. Even though the condo is mortgaged to the hilt, we'd be better off without him. Mom, what are you talking about? I'll never divorce Kevin. Lily's temper was starting to flare at the public scene her mother was making. She turned her head and looked at Kevin regretfully. But Lily didn't know that Kevin wasn't bothered at all about Dorothy's abuse. He seemed to be used to it, and he just let it go in one ear and out the other. Don't be silly, Lily. What does this mean to you anyway? Dorothy was very excited and added, in any case, if you don't divorce him, then you're going to lose me. Mom, how can you say that? Lily's heart began pounding in her chest. What should I say? Do you expect this bum to support our family for the rest of our lives? Do you think he'll find a way to get my money back? Dorothy looked at Kevin viciously. Jasmine Coleman, who had just arrived in the hospital, interrupted them and put her 2 cents in. Dorothy, don't expect Pittsburgh International to pay back the money they owe you. I just found out that their owner, Conrad Ferguson, is partnered with Drake Cook. I've got a feeling the explosion has something to do with him. Jasmine had been cheated out at least 5 times the amount that Dorothy had lost. Drake Cook? Dorothy looked absolutely devastated to hear that. She took a step back and almost fell on the floor. Anybody but Drake. Nobody in Chicago dared to cross that man. He had a vile reputation, to say the least. Now Kevin understood why Kelly didn't want to talk about the explosion. Drake was close to Mitchell Cook, so that made him really hard to handle. If he got pushed too far, he might cause a lot of trouble in the city. Well, let's just admit it. There's no need to get into a fight with Drake over a little bit of money, Jasmine sighed helplessly. Although her husband was a successful businessman, he wouldn't be much help right now because he was thousands of miles away working on a deal. No, I think I have a way. Dorothy suddenly seemed more confident. What can you do? I know your son-in-law knows some people with connections, but can he pull some strings with Drake? As Jasmine said this, she glanced over at Kevin. The scene in Lily's hospital room a few weeks before was etched in her mind. Why would you ever count on this? Dorothy sneered. I have an idea. Do you know Niles Walford from the Walford family? He likes my daughter a whole lot. If I tell him about this mess, he might find a way to get the money back for us. Dorothy went on to explain. The Walford family has a lot of businesses in Chicago. I'm sure they have some connections with Mitchell Cook. Drake might listen to him instead of Conrad Ferguson. There were a few wealthy women waiting nearby. One of them asked, Dorothy, the Walford family you're talking about, isn't that the one that's involved with Dominic Archer? Another one of the women couldn't help asking, one of the Walfords is after your daughter? Is that really true? Well, if you don't believe me, I'll call Niles right this second. Dorothy pulled out her cell phone and started to make the call. The Walford family? Which family is that? Kevin started to frown. He knew almost all the influential families in Chicago, but he had no idea who the Walfords were. What also surprised Kevin was that Dorothy said that Niles liked Lily a lot. How come he didn't know about this before? Don't be mad, Kevin. I have nothing to do with the guy. Lily could see the expression on Kevin's face, and she reacted right away so he wouldn't misunderstand. She put her hand on his arm and smiled sweetly. I'm not angry, but I would like to have a nice little chat with him, Kevin said with a sneer. In Chicago, there weren't a lot of people who were friends with Drake Cook. You could probably count them on one hand. So if Niles knew him, he was somebody worth looking into. By now, Dorothy's call had gone through. She smiled happily and said, Niles, are you busy right now? I may need your help with something. What's the matter, Dorothy? Go ahead and tell me. There aren't many things that I can't handle in this town. Where are you? I'll meet you right away. Everyone could hear his voice coming through Dorothy's earpiece. I'm at the downtown general in the ER. If you have the time, come right over. Dorothy hung up the phone looking very proud of herself. She sneered at the other woman and said, Now do you think I was just making it up? They were astonished because they'd never expected Dorothy to be so close to such a powerful man. We don't have to worry about our problem now. All we need to do is wait for Niles to get here. He'll deal with it. When Dorothy said this, she was full of confidence. Let's go home, Kevin. Lily pulled on Kevin's sleeve to urge him to leave. Do we have anything important to do at home? Mom said a big shot was coming. Let's stay around and meet him, Kevin said with a smile. He had a feeling that Niles Walford was all talk and no action.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.